If you think Joan of Arc is just an average, think again. She might be secretly be one of the strongest heroes in Heroes of History Epic Empire. Let me show you why so many top players quietly maxing out this hero. And I lately get some comments about Joan of Arc and maybe some changes that is going to happen with this hero. Now I personally feel a little guilty back in the days because I didn't actually invest in this hero in the 10 times chance up event. I think majority of the players are familiar with this event. I strongly suggest if you don't have heroes, go and get some heroes so you can start your progression. But if you hit some level where you have some heroes for progression, you create your team, alpha team, let's say it like this, and you become a little more picky. Now for Joan of Arc, I didn't actually invest. There was a 10 times chance up. GG on the people who actually get her, just because I didn't actually think she deserved my attention. Now the spell, basically the spell is what separates the heroes. Obviously is going to be also the base stats, that is what is the attack, defense and HP, but we're looking mostly over the ability. Calls for divine assistance, targeting the biggest cluster of enemy units, dealing 150% damage in range of 2. Now the range of 2 is something like average. Now range of 3 is maybe in the upper side, range of 1 is a downside. Also heals the biggest cluster of friendly units by 150% of Joan's base damage in range of 2. So normally when the fight starts, you're going to have cavalry troops, which is, you know, melee one, you have infantry one, you have heavy infantry. From the all 5 types of troops, siege and archers is going to be, you know, separate away. They're going to be behind. But everything that is happening in the center is going to be get hit by Joan of Arc. And I start actually thinking that I may actually make a mistake with this hero, and that's why I'm making this video. And yeah, I get some comments over Joan of Arc, also how good she is, and I actually rethink my view over her, and I think this is a pretty decent hero. And that's why I have this bad taste in my mind why I didn't actually go for this hero. Now let's talk about the key points of Joan of Arc. Joan's crowd control and sustain make her a monster in the long fights, especially in the modes like Guild Master 1 and Arena. Now for the Guild Master, this is what I speak with some other players, you know, speaking about Joan of Arc. By the way, you can join my Discord, you can PM me if you want to speak about some specific topic. And I speak with players who is in the Grandmaster 1 in Treasure Hunt, and they value a lot Joan of Arc, and also for Arena. Now for the Arena, I think the majority of the winning side is the fastest side. What I mean by that is the more faster your heroes trigger their spells, the bigger is the chance you actually win. Because, you know, if you have like 2 heroes that is hitting before the other one, there is a chance you can even take out one of the enemy heroes, or at least clear all the troops that, you know, can actually take some hit from your spells, and all of your spells is going to hit enemy heroes. But still, this healing and the damage that she's having is a pretty decent. Now this is a level 1, obviously. When you continue working over this hero, you're going to see that the damage from 150 is going to go to 174. This is like 24% extra damage. And here we have also increasing the healing by to 133%, and this is at level 15, which for a legendary hero is a lot of work. Strongly depend on which stage you are in your progress in the game, but for me personally, I think is a lot of time. For the Roman Empire, I have to wait to level 15. Right now I'm working over my Medusa. Her spell is level 19. There is still so much time, and sometimes one spell can actually take a couple days, just one level. And It's sometimes even more, by the way. Of Joan of Arc, affect friendly units get 3% of Joan attack as attack for 8 seconds. This is the first upgrade, which is something in extra of what we are having here. Here we are having just damage over the enemy and some healing for your friendly target, but here we have increasing of the damage. Now, later on level 30, this is 28% of Joan of Arc attack as attack and 0.5 attack speed for 8 seconds. Now, this one don't increase, I mean, the damage in the healing she's doing, but the boost, the buffs that she's giving start getting crazy. I know level 30 is a pretty high level for a legendary hero. I mean, from point of developing and leveling up these spells, especially if you're in the early stages in Heroes of History Epic Empire. But at the end of the day, if you make her level 40, you're going to see the damage is same, the healing is same, the damage she's doing is same, but is getting 10% attack speed for 8 seconds. Now, she trigger every 10 seconds regular charge. So 80% from the time you're going to have this boost from Joan of Arc attack, and also is going to have this attack speed. And this is very important. Regular charge is 10 seconds. 10 seconds is crazy. It's very fast. This hero is very fast, doing some damage and doing some healing. Her full potential only shows when her ability are maxed, and that's true. I mean, when I speak with the other people, they say, you know, you to get the full. I mean, this is obvious with the most of the heroes. Actually, not with the most of the heroes. I can actually give, for example, Ashoka. I think the main power of Ashoka is coming when he becomes level 5. That he's adding extra target that he's going to heal. Of course, when he's maxed from 15%, we're talking about 10 times increasing the percentage of healing. But yeah, for Joan of Arc, like the majority of the heroes, just this boost, this level of the spell, and no wonder people are looking to actually be able to train couple heroes, like 2 heroes in the barracks, because all these levels actually require pretty huge effort. Now you can get some points, skill points from treasure hunt, obviously, but this is not enough. Now I have like 11, by the way, 11k, but if I go, for example, and I check it out, who should I check it out? Let's be a legendary hero. Okay, I can check it out. Hatshepsut. This is 19,000 points for single level. There is 3 days still left for this hero. So, you know, leveling, and this is from level 21 to level 22. So from this point of view, the skill level is crazy. It's crazy. And I think this hero, compared to the other heroes, and the ability she's having is absolutely crazy. Again, for the arena, for treasure hunt, for long fights, especially for long fights, with the damage and healing she's providing, I see a lot of teams in the arena is actually using like 2 healers. So with Joan of Arc, you can do some damage there, and you can do some healing, and maybe have some healer like Hatshepsut, for example, or maybe Ashoka. For me, Ashoka is absolutely crazy, crazy healer. Some people are saying he is the best healer in the game, and he's like 3-star. But anyway, I think the things that the spell is giving, especially maxed, is absolutely crazy. And this is applying for 88 seconds, which is like 80% from the time you're going to have this buff. Absolutely crazy. And she's having enough to support, deal damage, and hold frontline in the mid-tier squads if you whack top meta heroes. And the flexibility of this hero is absolutely is very good. It's very good. I mean, I'm honest. This hero, there was a 10 times chance up. I was not having 100 summons, and yeah, if you want to go to 10 times chance up, at least have like 100 summons to have like 50% chance to get the hero, and with 10 times chance up is the best way to get the hero you're looking for, because there are not that many heroes. If they include all the seasonal heroes and basically all the heroes that are present in the game, not only that are static in the summoning pack, is going to be 10 times chance up. It may be more hard to get this hero that is having 10 times chance up, just because it's the pool of heroes is bigger and bigger, and this time this 10 times chance up is not going to reflect like it's reflecting right now. I'm actually still looking for Curie. I still want to get her and maybe some good tanks like George Washington. I think this one is a very good one. But yeah, we're talking about Joan of Arc. Just my little regret back in the days about not going for her. Let me know your personal opinion in the comments below. I'm writing all of my comments, and I want to see what other people are thinking, not just my small community. Basically everybody who is watching my videos is part from my small community, so everybody opinion is welcomed. So yeah, I'm not going to make this video longer. I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you leave the comment, like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new here, become a member if you want to support my work. So I'm going to think about some benefits for my members, since this channel is not supported by anything. So yeah, wish you a great day and see you in the next video.